Or
say.
about to be. Because I don't read that one. Okay, hold on.
We're about to be.
It's on! Cool!
Okay.
Alright,
He
music.
said, we're about to be.
Oh my gosh, come on. Get it together.
Oh, come on, we're not even like on air yet.
For the live stream. I know.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to your station, your voice, the Galaxy. You're tuning back to the CineManiacs here on our adventurous night. So, the first half we just finished we had Thor, all the Thor movies. So, Thor 2011, Thor Dark World 2013, and Thor Ragnarok 2017. I don't know why I said it like that, but basically all the Thor films involving just Thor's character, that kind of stuff. And for our second half here tonight, we're going to be doing a whodunit / kind of mystery show. So we have The Hateful Eight, and then the second Marquee of the Night, Murder on the Orient Express. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right back into it. So The Hateful Eight, 2015, Quentin Tarantino's eighth film, correct?
Yep.
Ironically enough. So
He did that on purpose.
yeah, I was gonna say that's why it's funny, but so I've not seen this film. But I've heard great things about it just because the all-star cast it has. So definitely, I know you've both seen it, correct? That's
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember a lot from it because when I watched it was really late and I was like, I wasn't falling asleep, but I wasn't focusing as much as I should have.
I got you.
But I still remember bits and pieces of it. I want to rewatch it though.
Cool. So Levi, do you want to go ahead and take start with the summary a little bit here and then continue on?
Sure.
Alrighty.
So, The Hateful Eight takes place post-Civil War, and
Captain America Civil War?
You've ruined it.
takes place post-Civil War, and it's in, I forgot the state, Wyoming. They're in Wyoming, and there's a blizzard, and what happens is all these strangers,
Okay.
Yeah.
mainly like there's two people. There's John Ruth, the Hangman, who's played by Kurt Russell, and Daisy Domergue, who's played by Jennifer Jason Leigh. And she's John Ruth's prisoner because she's wanted dead or alive for like $10,000. And so he's taken her to Red Rock, is the name of the town, if I remember correctly, to see her hanged, because he's the hangman. But during this blizzard, they get stopped on the road by two other people, by Samuel L. Jackson's character, which his name is Major Marquis Warren, and he was a major in the Civil War, but he's ever since after the Civil War, he's a bounty hunter now, and he bounty hunts. So he hitches a ride with John Ruth the Hangman and Daisy Domergue to Red Rock, where he's turning in some of his bounties for cash. And on their way to Red Rock, as the blizzard continues to escalate, they get stopped once again by Sheriff Mannix, who is the new sheriff, or going to be the new sheriff, of Red Rock, coincidentally. They're just heading out to Red Rock, and halfway there, the guy who's supposed to be the new sheriff of Red Rock, they run into all by himself, because his horse, he fell off on his horse, or his horse fell over and died in the cold or whatever. So they pick him up. And so the four of them now continue heading toward Red Rock, but as the blizzard continues to increase, they end up getting stuck at, what's it called? It's Minnie's, what was it called? It was like a little marketplace. Oh, haberdashery! Minnie's Haberdashery, that's what it's called. And at Minnie's Haberdashery, there's already 4 other strangers there. There's Bruce Dern's character, who I can't remember what his name was. It was like Smithers or something. Tim Roth's character, who's Oswaldo Mulberry. Michael Madsen's character, who's Joe Gage. And then the other character who's... I forgot the actor's name, but he plays Bob the Mexican. And So there's just these 4 strangers in Minnie's haberdashery. And what happens is, as they're locked up here, they start to learn more about each other, get to know each other, because they're going to be stuck here during this blizzard. And as they continue to stay there, John Roof the Hangman, Major Marquis Warren, and Sheriff Mannix the 3 of them come to an arrangement that there's something suspicious going on here, and one of the 4 men is not who they say they are in this cabin. And so they have to figure out who they are, like who's not who they say they are, and why. And their suspicion is that it's something to do with Daisy Domergue. And so the rest of the movie just plays out as a whodunit. It's with the overture and the intermission, which is the 70mm print of the movie. It's 3 hours and 10 minutes long. Otherwise, just the regular digital format with no overture, no intermission. It's 2 hours 45 minutes of just whodunit, trying to figure out who it is. But yeah, that's pretty much the Hateful Eight, to sum it up, like what's going on.
Cool. Now, before you guys go into spoilers, I know it did come out 2 years ago, and like even though I haven't seen it, I do kind of want to see it. So if there are like any major spoilers, you can kind of. But if you have to like spoil something, it's fine.
Are you sure it's 2 hours 45 minutes?
Maybe 2 hours 50.
Everywhere I'm looking, it says it's 3 hours 7 minutes.
No, that's if it's that's the 70mm print with the overture and the intermission put into it. If you don't have the intermission or the overture, because if you watch the digital format, which is the only format I've seen, it's 2 hours 45, 2 hours 50 minutes. So yeah.
But yeah, as far as I was saying, so are there any major spoilers you can try to avoid? Just kind of like obviously who did do it. Kind of just, I don't want to like avoid that, but if there's any like other spoilers you have, you can like that aren't so like crucial. Just like, oh yeah, this happened, this dude shoots this guy or something. I don't know. You can say that, but because I kind of do want to see this film, because the more I hear about it, I'm just like, yeah,
okay,
let's go see it. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead and jump into your kind of review of it as well, if you.
It's good. I like The Hateful Eight. It's a very good winter movie. Like I've seen it maybe 3 times now, just because it came out. It had a limited release in 2015, like on Christmas Day, or like on New Year's Eve, but then it had a nationwide release like the 1st or 2nd weekend of January. And me and my brothers and my dad, we all went and saw The Hateful Eight in the theater back in January. And like every winter, like we put it in just because it is a good winter movie to watch. Like it's entertaining. It's because it definitely has that winter vibe to it. It's got a west because it is a western, so it 100% has that like old western vibe to it, and very, of course, because it's a blizzard, very winter vibe to it. So we always watch it at winter just because it's good entertainment. But it's good. I like it. It's not my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. It's very, very, very dialogue heavy.
Interesting.
Quentin Tarantino is the king of dialogue, and I mean with this movie he really like stretched it out, and like we know you're the king of dialogue, Quentin, but like this movie, like it just seemed like you were really trying to prove that point, and it's like we already know. So you didn't need to stretch it out as much as you did.
Yeah.
Almost had a nasty tumble here, but I was gonna ask you. So obviously, yeah, like you're right. Quentin Tarantino loves dialogue heavy. He writes obviously really cool, like especially like in Pulp Fiction.
He's close to it as far as being like the actual king of dialogue.
Really?
So like right now it's Woody Allen, because Woody Allen has 3 Oscars for screenplay, and that's like I think that's the most Oscars won by a single screenwriter. I don't know if that's true or not. I think it is, but just 3 Oscars for screenwriting, and Quentin Tarantino's got 2 right now, so he just needs 1 more to tie with Woody Allen, or he'll need 2 more to surpass.
I was gonna say if he's not the king, he'll be the prince.
The prince of dialogue.
I was gonna say the dialogue in The Hateful Eight, is it like? You know, the long dialogue, it's meaningful, isn't it? Or is it just kind of like in there?
It's Quentin Tarantino. You know how his dialogue is. In
it's
Pulp
very
Fiction,
kind of rough and
Django Unchained and Glorious Bastards, Reservoir Dogs. It's like, you know how it is. It's simple talk. It's Yeah.
Well, it's simple talk in some points, but at one point it just becomes this long slew
It's simple talk, but it's simple talk to keep it interesting because it mainly focuses like they talk a lot when we're introduced to a new character. We have a lot of dialogue centered around them. Like when we run into the sheriff, Major Marquis Warren, he's got this letter from Abraham Lincoln, and John Ruth wants to see it and like questions him about like what he did as a major in the Civil War. And then the Sheriff Mannix, like as soon as we're introduced to him, like they start questioning him. So you're out here in the middle, nowhere, all by yourself. You were in the Civil War. Like, why are you being the new sheriff? And yeah. And then when we get to Minnie's Haberdashery, our 4 new characters, we get very much dialogue time with them, learning who they are and what's going on with them.
5 individuals have been awarded with 3 screenwriting Oscars. Billy Wilder, Charles Brackett, Francis Ford Coppola, Woody Allen, and Patty Chayefsky. However, Woody Allen has been nominated the most times, which is 16.
There you go, yeah.
Dang, 16 times?
Yeah.
For best screen.
There you
Dang,
go.
that's really impressive. Go Woody Allen.
So, I mean, if Quentin Tarantino gets a 3rd win, he's up there with them. Like, he is. But Woody Allen, like, Quentin's not going to surpass as far as screenplay.
He's got 2 movies left.
He does. But he's only had 3 screenplay nominations and won 2 of those 3.
You know what's really interesting?
What were they?
Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Bastards, and Django Unchained. He won for Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained.
Gotcha.
So the other day I was looking up something from Quentin Tarantino, just because we didn't mention a Hateful Eight for tonight's show, but I don't know. Like sometimes I just see stuff about Quentin Tarantino, and I was looking up his filmography, and apparently there was like another film he made. I don't know if he directed it, but he made prior to like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Like I don't know, maybe he did direct.
Grindhouse or whatever.
I don't know, but it was curious. Yeah, you look it up for me real quick. But
it wasn't like a short film.
I don't know, but I was looking at it and I was just like, wait, did he? Because he was talking about the 10 films he wants to make. Blah blah. Did he already like kind of do that? He obviously did.
2 final films is Kill Bill 3.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's working on that now.
Dang.
So, and then he'll have 1 final film.
I think he. Yeah, well, Brennan, can you look it up for me real quick? Yeah, you're looking it up. I just want to confirm this first before we continue on to whatever else you have to say about the Hateful Eight. But yeah, I was gonna say it. For Quentin Tarantino, at least, he says that 10 is like that, like approximately where he estimates about that. But he said I think he said he wouldn't mind if he made. He said if he makes like 10 films and like or a handful of them are really good films, he'll quit, right? He said at least like he'll end his career at 60. But he said if he kind of wants to keep going, he'll keep going just a little bit more. Because I think he said he wanted to focus more like on like books and stuff. I think that's what he said, like books and screenwriting and more of that kind of deal instead of directing movies. But yeah, that's what I heard as well. Because that was the 10 thing is always kind of his like famous dialogue. Did you find anything, Brennan?
The 8 movies that he has directed are Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill, Death Proof, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, and Hateful Eight.
Okay.
Kill Bill 2. If you get rid of Death Proof, because Kill Bill 2 mainly like Death Proof was like a collaboration of like directors. He wasn't like the main director. I don't like several directors had parts in Death Proof.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was just one thing I wanted. I was confused. I'm just like. Obviously, if he did that, but you know, he still wants to make those handful of good films. So. Mm-hmm. But he does have a handful of great films. They're memorable. Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, he's
Django
apparently
Unchained.
helped direct 20 things, but like those aren't.
I was gonna say those aren't his like his. You don't see the quarantine.
Yeah, those are.
I almost called him Quarantino, like quarantine. But yeah, like. You know it's a
Oh, because he directed an episode. He directed 2 episodes of CSI.
Oh my god.
I was say he's like when you watch a Tarantino film, you like it has Quentin Tarantino written all over. You can
and Jimmy Kimmel Live. He directed an episode of Jimmy Kimmel.
I was gonna say that it's his aspect of filming. So that was my thing. But anyway, let's get back to Hateful Eight as we're wrapping that up. Anything else? I know Brandon, you say you haven't seen it in a while. Do you have anything you just want to say about it or not? If you don't have to, it's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, I don't really have much to say other than it's a very, like, you have to pay attention with this movie.
Yeah.
As you do with a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies.
Because, like, there's not a lot of action. It's all dialogue. It's
If
more
you miss a
dialogue
piece of
than
dialogue,
action.
you are going to get lost for it.
Yeah.
Really?
You have to, like, be intrigued by it. And he
Yeah.
tries to do that.
Mhm.
This movie was just, like, over the top with dialogue where it didn't need to happen. It was just
Yeah.
over the top.
Like the story that Samuel Jackson tells.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that story was a bit out there.
It was.
Don't tell me about it because I want to see it.
Yeah. We couldn't talk about it here anyway.
Oh. Alright, well, anything else to say before you guys go into ratings?
Hateful Eight's good. I recommend go see it. Like, it is good. It's not my favorite Tarantino. It's probably, for me, like, probably 3 or 4.
I was gonna say 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, he's on, like, the... I mean, I think it's kind of cool how, like, he was, like, he did kind of, like, the hitman kind of thing with Pulp Fiction and, like, Reservoir Dogs. Now he's doing, like, more of the Western, and then Kill Bill was more like an assassin film, so it's cool.
He did Inglourious Bastards, which is kind of like a war
movie.
I mean, it's...
I mean, I haven't
like,
seen it.
Like,
haven't
because
seen
The
it.
Hateful Eight is a Western film. Like, it's 100% a pure, like, original Western film. And then, Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained, they are original movies too, but they're more so, they're just twists on history, twists on World War II, twists on slavery, American slavery, so it's just, they're more twists.
100 Nazi scalps.
Because everybody considers, like, Django Unchained, they're like, Django Unchained's a Western. I'm like, yeah, I get how it's a Western, but it's more so a twist on American slavery than it is
It's like a story, but put in a West.
The Hateful Eight is a Western. Django Unchained, like, it's kind of a Western, but it's more so, like, kind of like Inglourious Basterds, just a twist on American slavery.
Alright.
So what would you guys not gonna...
I don't want to give a rating.
Okay.
For it.
You wanna-
I would give The Hateful Eight probably...
An 8 out of 10.
Ah,
I
that's
was
alright.
thinking that, but I would probably give The Hateful Eight either a 7.9 or a solid 8.0. Probably a 7.
Wow.
Probably a 7.9.
This actually
That's
really
really
surprises
high
me.
for you, Levi.
It's
It really
good.
is.
It's Quentin. Like, I'd either give it.
Do you just like... You really like Quentin Tarantino movies, don't you?
I like his movies. Yeah, they're good.
They are
Like, who
entertaining.
does not like Quentin? The only reason why
Well,
you
name a couple.
I mean, the only reason why you would not like Quentin Tarantino movies is if you like really like squeamish
Here's the thing.
blood,
Okay.
Or you
Or-
don't like foul language.
or you don't like foul language.
Okay. I'll talk to you guys after
Or-
the show then, but...
Or there was like one other thing you wouldn't like him for. I can't remember what it was. It was like either you're like really squeamish with like blood and or language. There was one other thing. I can't remember what it was. This upsets me.
Was it like there's some? He tends to have some like I guess not sexual content, but like
There's like usually no sexual content.
Yeah, there's
and if
not
there
much
is, it's
sexual
very
content.
little.
another thing like okay, sorry.
Tarantino. His movies are just usually very bloody.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about The Hateful Eight. Like, the first half of the movie, it's all dialogue, but then the second half, oh my god, is it a bloody, bloody mess.
Mhm.
It's very bloody.
I've seen more blood in the bathroom when I stubbed my toe in one.
Wow. Go see The Hateful Eight. I give it, like, either a 7.8, 7.9, or a solid 8.0. Probably a 7.9, though.
That's really interesting. I did not expect that
Mhm.
from you actually. Like it's not like not a bad thing.
I jokingly said 8 out of 10, and he was like, I was thinking about it. I was like,
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, whoa, what?
What would you guys expect from The Hateful Eight?
No,
Well,
not from what you expect.
just from you, I expected
you.
like a 7.7 or
I've
was-
given high ratings before. I've given in the 8s.
Yeah, but it's like a
before.
solar eclipse event. It happens
it's-
every
it's
once in a
very
while. Not
rare.
very
It's very rare.
solar eclipse. It's like, oh, there it is. There it goes. We'll see it for like
Alright.
17 years. All right, so The Hateful Eight, great review there. Thank you for that. So we'll continue with you again. Murder on the Orient Express, 2017, that came out this year, obviously. There was the original 1974 film. This is just a remake of that classic story. So This is a film that I really want to go see. I'm really looking forward to this film. I might go see it, maybe not this weekend, but maybe potentially like over like Thanksgiving break. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward. This is one of the films that I'm really looking for. Like, I look forward to. You saw it this past week. So tell us about your experience and how you about the story a little bit, without obviously spoiling.
Yeah. So it's a Kenneth Branagh film, and he's the lead of the movie too. I forgot his name's like Hercule Poirot. He's Belgian. His character with the mustache, that fake mustache.
Oh yeah, that really big.
Yeah, that really
the
big
bushy.
Yeah, mustache. But he's Belgian, and he's considered like the world's greatest detective. Like, he can solve any case. That's how the movie opens up. Like, 3 priests, like a rabbi, a priest, and some other priest. I can't remember what they name them, but like, they were in a room and they stole, and like an artifact was stolen the same night they were in a room, and so he lines them all up. This is like the beginning of the movie, and he shows like to the audience like who it was, and then he points out that it wasn't any of the priests, it was the cop patrolling the nights, and this is how it was the cop, and like, it was the cop. He figured it out. So he is like considered the world's greatest detective. But and so there's this one case in Britain that he has to solve. Like, that's been bugging him. Like, everybody's been bugging him. Britain's been bugging him forever, and he knows he's been bugged about it for so long, so he's like, all right, let's just go figure it out. And so he has to get on the Orient Express, and it'll take him to like the next station or where he needs to get to. It takes him to the station he needs to get to before he can travel to Britain. And so on the Orient Express, there's a group of passengers, and here we go.
Is there a murder on the Orient Express?
Here we go. Kenneth Branagh's there, and so is Penelope Cruz, Willem Dafoe, Johnny Depp, Michelle Pfeiffer, Josh Gad, Derek Jacobi, Judi Dench, Olivia Colman, Daisy Ridley, and Leslie Oldman Jr. Just a whole cast.
It's an all-star cast.
It is. It's an all-star cast of characters. And while they're traveling, what happens is the train, the Orient Express, and they all play different characters. Like,
right.
Michelle Pfeiffer is like, she's the silly girl, like, who likes to fool around, have fun. Daisy Ridley, she's like the governess or whatever. Leslie Oldman Jr. is the doctor. Willem Dafoe is like the professor. Johnny Depp's the gangster. Josh Gad's like the right-hand man to Johnny Depp's the gangster.
Okay, I got you. But they all play different roles.
Yeah, different roles. Like, getting to know them all. And what happens one night is on the Orient Express, like, there's an avalanche, a snow avalanche that derails the train for a bit.
I thought it was a beach avalanche.
And so it derails the train, and the night that the train gets derailed, Johnny Depp's character Ratchet is murdered, and they have to figure out like who done it, who murdered Ratchet, the gangster, and why.
Okay.
What did they have against them?
I was gonna say, you could have said a character is murdered.
That's not a spoiler.
Is it though?
It'd be a spoiler if I said who it was.
Well, I know, but also
I didn't know who got murdered.
Yeah, I didn't want to know who got murdered.
Like, from the original book, or heard from the original
from
book,
both.
like
who
got murdered.
Like, I didn't want to. You could have said
Just because it happens early in the movie doesn't mean that it's not a spoiler.
You guys know, like, when they first introduce him, like in the trailer, you don't see Johnny Depp at all. When they go,
but Levi, that's a trailer.
Who it is. It's
that's
like
a trailer.
And you don't see Johnny Depp introduced at all, because they're going down the list of all the characters, like who did it. Like,
okay.
Why did they have their why did this person have their enemy?
Okay, but long story short is, you could have said a character gets murdered.
Oh well, sorry about it, but it was gonna happen. I mean, he's not in it for long. He gets murdered, and you gotta figure out, he's the gangster of all the characters. He's the that was his role. He was the gangster. So like, who on the Orient Express had their who had Vane with them, like, who had bad exchanges with them, and what they have against him. So so it's up to Kenneth Branagh's character to figure out who did it. What did they have against Ratchet? What did they have against him? And the rest of the movie, like, it unfolds, like, who did it, trying to figure out who the murderer was. And you find out like just backstory of him, and he had like a wife who died. It didn't like really say, or I can't remember specifically like how did she die. He's just a widow to her, and but he loved her very much, and he makes it very apparent with his affection towards showing like when he's remembered of her like in flashbacks. So yeah.
So I mean, obviously, an all-star cast, and it's a really, I mean, it's a classic story too. 1974, the film came out. It's a book, so obviously, this is all. It means a lot, especially in today's film making, industry over there. It's a very important kind of film because, I don't think you typically see a lot of murder / mystery kind of classic films like this anymore. Like, oh, someone got killed. Let's see who the case. Oh, there's a detective. There's a detective. Was it the butler? Was it like that kind of deal? But yeah, so like I want to know is did it have like that sort of like same charm as like the trailer had, like like mystery is afoot, like here at the.
This movie was mediocre. It was average. It was okay. It didn't blow my skirt up, but I wasn't let down by it. It wasn't anything like too special. It was good. It was entertaining, but absolutely nothing more. You're not going to be blown away by it. So that's why, like, when you say you're like really excited for it, don't have your hopes up too high of it being a really great movie, because it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
It's good.
Sure.
It's entertaining, but do not have high expectations for how great of a film this could be, because it's not. So yeah.
One thing that kind of worries me about this movie, and it might just be like a me thing that this happens to, but all-star casts like this, big casts like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget a lot of characters' names.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you? Because that happens to me a lot.
I don't even remember some of the characters' names. I really don't.
What
I
is the
know.
thing?
I recognize their face of who the star is, what the star is, like what their role. Like Willem
That's
Dafoe's the
that's what I do.
professor,
That's
Maisie
what I do,
Ridley's the
which
governess.
is really like bad, because like you're supposed to remember the character's name,
No.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my thing.
It don't matter.
I typically, if it's an all-star cast, I just call them whatever the actor or actress name is. Oh, snap! Daisy really did this, or William Dafoe, like that kind of thing. I'm not gonna call them by like unless they're the character.
Yeah, I don't
names.
remember
Unless
their
it's like
names too
a
much.
superhero movie or something like that, like Tony Stark, like.
Oh snap! Thor and Hulk.
They're not memorable names. Like you don't hear like your average Joe remember their name from the book or the original movie Murder on the Orient Express.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I mean, that's one thing I was worried about, because it was like, you got Johnny Depp, Willem Dafoe, Kenneth Branagh, Daisy Ridley, Michelle Pfeiffer. I was like, that's a lot.
It's a lot of famous people.
characters.
That's a lot of famous people too,
That's a
all in
lot
the
of
same
main
movie.
characters. I'm like, I'm gonna forget their name.
Yeah.
So, anything else to say about Murder on the Orient Express before we go to your ratings?
Was there anything that did kind of not blow you away, but like impress you?
Yeah.
Yes. I was moved and I was touched with the ending of this movie.
Okay.
Of how, because of the relationships and I'm not gonna go to spoilers. Don't worry. With the relationships and like the relationship like he had with his wife and the way he connects with the relationships of the passengers and whatnot. Like I was just moved with. Because that's like something I look for, and what I like is the relationships between people, and so I was moved by it, and I liked it.
Cool.
It made me walk away thinking. So yeah, it was good. I recommend. It's 100% pure entertainment. If you got nothing else better to do, go see it over Thor. Go see it over Justice League. Go see it.
Whoa.
Excuse me, Justice League isn't out yet.
I was like, you can't even say that yet.
It's actually.
It's X-Men. He's all talking to action.
Go see.
I hope I get proven wrong, but I'm probably not gonna.
Accurate.
I don't sound like that.
Oh, he got you everywhere, man.
I recommend go see. It's a good. It's entertaining.
That's what I want to go see. I want to go see how it looks like
It's-
kind of good movie.
It's not like Gone Girl mystery where it's like boom, blew you away and
I love
like
that.
surprised, like hit you in the face. No, it's mediocre. It's okay. It's average. It's just for funsies. If you want to go see like a whodunit, just for funsies.
It's like, ooh, honey, let's go see this and see if we can figure out who the killer is. before
Exactly.
The movie does.
Of course, it's no fun if you've seen the original movie or if you've read the book. Then you know, yeah. But
I was gonna say before we kind of end our show here. You didn't even give your rating yet, Levi. Tell me your rating. What you
are you
thought.
gonna say something pertaining to the movie, or is this like?
No, it's just like a
That
little.
was in
It's
the show, so.
like it's not shows. It's like pertained like the topic of the movie. But go ahead and leave your
Oh.
rating first.
I would give Murder on the Orient Express probably a 6.9 or a
Okay.
6.8.
Okay.
6.9, 6.9.
Got a lot of sixes this show.
I'd probably say 6.9 more so. 6.9 is what I would give it. Close to solid 7.0, but just falls a little short, so 6.9.
I feel that. So the connection I was gonna make after you give your rating. You were talking about how like, oh, let's go see you can figure out what the murder is before the movie does. I think it was hilarious. So when Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out, obviously no one had seen the film, right? A lot of people wanted to go see that movie, and it was like opening weekend, and there was one movie theater in somewhere in the United States that before the movie started, right? It was like right before here comes the opening credits. They had Star Wars trivia, and so what they did was
I've seen this video.
yeah, it's where they basically took different trivia from Star Wars, like what's Han Solo shit, Millennium Falcon, like from the movies, and then they started doing trivia from The Force Awakens, and it was like, how does Chewbacca die? And it's like they're like, no, don't do this. So I was thinking like, how funny would it be if like before this movie happens, like, all right, so how does why are these characters guilty of the murder? Like, what? We haven't even started watching the movie yet. And people started. The funny thing about the prank that Brent and I were talking about is that people started walking out of the movie theater. They're like, man, I just gave my money away to go see a movie that already got exposed. So that was a pretty funny little thing I was thinking of, like how funny would it be if they just ruined the movie just like that. And
I would leave.
I would go back to the first thing I would do is go to the snack bar, take as many snacks as I want, just go, hey, I want money back. This is all mine. You guys ruined my movie in the night. Yeah, absolutely. So, unless there's nothing else to say for the movies we reviewed tonight, anything else about them?
We spent a lot of time on Thor.
We spent 40 minutes on Thor.
To continue our saving your college money or money in general, don't go see Thor Ragnarok unless you really want to go see and you appreciate Thor, but definitely go check out Murder on the Orient Express. It's a pretty entertaining movie, as Levi said. So yeah, that was our show. We had the Thor half and then the murder mystery half. So we had Thor The Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok for the first half, and then for the second half we had the Hateful Eight and Murder on the Orient Express. So before we end our show tonight, I'll go ahead and take one announcement. So obviously, as you've been watching for our entire show, and obviously as you've been listening, there's only been 3 of us tonight. That's because Steven is out there doing his mod thing for Humans vs. Zombies, HVZ. That is in full swing, started yesterday, and everything is upon us now, so missions are going out, all that stuff. If you don't know what HVZ is, it's basically, show me your bandana, Brendan, on the live stream. Basically, it's a huge game of tag, and it involves Nerf guns and socks, and basically there's 2 teams. There's the humans and the zombies. The humans are the ones trying to stay alive from the zombies. The zombies are the ones hunting them, and if you get turned into a zombie, you get to hunt the humans. And it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to play as much as I can this semester just because I got my bandana. I'm trying to play it. I don't know if I'm really trying, but I really do want to kind of get into more of it. But yeah, there's been bandana. You're still a human, right, Craig? I'm just gonna make sure. Good.
Still a human.
Yeah, there's a lot of zombies already carrying around there.
Yeah, I heard that the humans were all over the apartments like a couple minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Now they're gone.
It's gonna be fun walking back.
It's gonna be real
It's
fun.
gonna be real
You don't
fun.
have your Nerf gun, do you?
I don't even have my bandana. I forgot that.
Irvin, you have to be wearing it.
No, I know, but I forgot it.
Irvin,
that's
Irvin.
cheating.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't do it on purpose.
That's not an you have to wear
I didn't do it on purpose, Levi.
Irvin.
I didn't do it on purpose. I'll do something to you after the live stream is over. But anyway, if you haven't checked it out, go play that game. I will do a better job of playing it when I get back. Okay, but it's a really fun game.
They're only gonna go after me now. They're not gonna know Irvin's playing.
Well, they wouldn't even see mine because it's purple, but still.
They won't even see mine because it's purple. Let's say as I'm wearing a gray shirt.
But it's dark outside. And this is black. Anyway.
Anyway.
So, that is the announcement we have tonight. Anything from you guys before we end the show?
No, we no show next week.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we don't
That's
have
right,
a show
no
next
show
week.
We
next
do not
week.
have a show next week, as we will all be heading home like Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
That is right.
So we will see you in 2 weeks.
That's
Yep.
right.
Or we'll have Justice League to review.
Yep.
And,
What comes out after Justice League?
Coco, the Disney Pixar
Oh,
film.
I'm also gonna have the Disaster Artist to
Yeah.
talk about.
Wait, doesn't Disaster come out like...
December.
I have an advanced
8th,
screening
if you see
date.
it.
Ah, that's right. That's awesome.
Yep.
Definitely. Alright, so go ahead. Thank you so much for listening. You're listening to your station, your voice, the Galaxy Radio, the CineManiacs signing off one final time.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Levi.
Steven's here too in spirit. And I'm Irvin. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys 2 weeks from now here on your station, your voice, the Galaxy Radio. Have a great night.
Woo!